Hey guys, how we doing today? This is Wally with Best Web Hosting for WordPress.net, and I want to welcome you guys to my channel here where I talk about how to create WordPress websites for free. I do tutorials on this channel, and obviously, if you guys want to create a website, you want to do it with Bluehost. So we're going to be talking about Bluehost. How reliable and good are they for creating websites for 2020 going forward? And hopefully, with this information and this Bluehost review, you guys will know if they're for you or not. But if you guys are new here to this channel for Best Web Hosting for WordPress.net, hit the subscribe button right below, guys, along with the bell. And that way, any future videos that I put up, be it about web hosting or even tutorials on how to create WordPress websites, you guys will be sure to receive them. So I've been using and testing Bluehost's Plus plan in particular for the past year. And me personally, I've had some really good experiences, with the web hosting itself. I've created 2 WordPress websites using their Plus plan. And I just wanted to give some feedback about it, just what I think about their web hosting in general. And again, give you guys an idea of what to expect if you're deciding to, jump on board, with their web hosting itself. You guys will know that with Bluehost, there are different types of web hosting that they offer. They're shared, which tends to be the cheapest across the board with any web hosting provider. There's VPS and dedicated hosting, which is really for people that have high volumes of traffic already. If you're a beginner online, you don't have that. So you won't really need VPS or dedicated hosting in the beginning. If you want like your own private, server, VPS and dedicated hosting is really ideal for that. But again, if you're a beginner online, and this is going to be your very first website, the best web hosting to really select from if you're going with Bluehost is their shared hosting itself. It's the simplest. They give you a free SSL certificate along with a free domain, which, domains itself, if you're going to like GoDaddy or another domain name registrar, they usually run anywhere from about 15 to like $20 per year. Bluehost is giving you that for free. They have different web hosting plans that you can select from, as you guys will notice right here, the Basic Plus, Choice Plus, and Pro. The Basic is recommended really for beginners online that just want to create one website. But if you need to create multiple websites online, maybe for like affiliate marketing, network marketing, or your developer, or just have different projects online that you need to create websites for, then it's good to look at like the Plus, Choice Plus, or even the Pro. The real difference between these 3 is as you kind of scale up, you'll not only get the free SSLs and all the unlimited features, but you also get domain privacy itself, which really just privatizes your first and last name, your email, um, your address where you live at. And really, the true benefit to having it is that it really decreases or eliminates unsolicited phone calls that you will get when you register a new domain, online. It happens to all of us. But with domain privacy, it privatizes your information from the public domain so people can't see it. People that are trying to sell you things that you don't want. Also, another benefit to having domain privacy is that it eliminates like unsolicited emails. Again, like from spam and people trying to sell you things. So you get that with the Plus, and the Pro going up. If you don't want that, you can opt out of it. It's 100% optional, even with the basic plan itself. My personal experience with the Plus hosting plan itself, this is the one that I got signed up with. I think it's a great plan itself. I got it for 1 year. You can, get web hosting for a year. You can get it for 2 years or even 3. The real idea with web hosting, not only with Bluehost, but with any web hosting provider, is that the more web hosting that you purchase, up front, the more money that you'll save, in the long run. And so that's really how Bluehost works. If you're totally new to them, is that you save a lot of money with web hosting if you purchase more of it, but you have to purchase it up front. Some other web hosting providers out there, I'll tell you about a couple of them in just a minute. They do allow you to purchase it by the month, maybe in smaller increments. If you have like a small project where you just need web hosting for maybe a month, 3 months, or even 6 months, I'll tell you about one that allows you to do that. But generally speaking, with web hosting, if you're totally new online, it's always best to get more months, at least 12 months or more of web hosting to really save and come out, like winning on the front and back end. So, I mean, with Bluehost, again, they've been around for a very long time, and there are not too many places online where you won't hear something about Bluehost. In fact, if you jump over to WordPress.org's website, WordPress.org's website, when you jump over there, guys, you'll see that on their website itself, under the hosting tab, you'll see that there are three major hosts that come highly recommended by WordPress.org. One is Bluehost, which is listed first. You can see some features and things that WordPress.org, has highlighted that Bluehost has. For example, it highlights that they host currently over 2 million websites. They're really ideally for WordPress and performance. Free domain, as I mentioned to you guys, all of which are really nice benefits that beginners can take advantage of when getting started. You'll see that DreamHost and SiteGround also tail Bluehost there, again, due to the WordPress performance. So when it comes to creating websites online, I highly recommend that you guys use WordPress. There are other CMS platforms that you'll have access to, with Bluehost if you decide to get started with them, such as Drupal, there's Joomla, PrestaShop, and others if you want to create like an e-commerce store. But most beginners use WordPress because, one, doesn't require you to have coding experience or any HTML experience itself. And even with Bluehost, they'll even help you install WordPress with one click. So they're a really good web hosting provider for beginners. But if you are somebody who is more advanced and you've been online for like several years and you're looking for something with faster performance, faster customer support, and you're not a beginner online, I recommend looking at some Bluehost alternatives such as Hostinger. And so Hostinger is another great web hosting provider. And again, I'll drop links right below, and that way you guys can click on those to save big on your web hosting today. On my channel for Best Web Hosting for WordPress.net, I have access to a 90% discount off if you guys use that link that's right below on Hostinger. I've been using Hostinger specifically for 4 years, only Bluehost for 1 year with their Plus plan, but with Hostinger, I've been using them for 4 years. And Best Web Hosting for WordPress.net was one of many blogs that I use, or that I use Hostinger rather, to create this particular blog. And so anyway, I've created to date about 12 websites using Hostinger. I really like them. They're probably the cheapest web hosting provider online that you'll find, bar none. They're really great in the way of performance, uptime. Their customer service is extremely fast. I do want to state off back in this Bluehost review that Hostinger, as an alternative to Bluehost, does not have phone-based support. Bluehost does. They have phone-based support, email support, there's chat support 24/7. But what I'll say about Hostinger is that although they do not have phone-based support, their support is a lot faster than Bluehost. And for that reason, I recommend them as a good alternative to Bluehost if you don't get started, with them. Hostinger has been around for a very long time. They have over 29 million users of their platform itself in comparison to Bluehost with only 2 million. So they have a lot of experience, guys, and really great customer support, which I think is ideal for creating any website online. You'll notice that they have 3 plans that you can select from. There's a single shared hosting, premium, and the business plan itself. The real difference between these 3 is that with the single plan, it allows you to host one website, whereas the premium and business allow you to host unlimited websites, with those. The business plan itself gives you daily backups. You also get faster performance, with them, along with free SSL certificates. Hostinger's plans across the board come embedded with CDNs, content delivery networks, which allow your websites to have faster page loads. With my websites online, not only with Best Web Hosting for WordPress.net, but with other blogs and websites that I've created, I get websites from all around the world, here from the US, I get them from India, from Europe. I get them from everywhere. And CDNs are ideal to have to be able to process all of that traffic that's coming into your website. So Hostinger gives that to you, and it comes embedded once you guys get started today using the links below. As for me with Hostinger, initially, I got started off with the single plan, but now I'm using the business plan because one, it allows me to create multiple websites online for things like affiliate marketing, and it also comes with free SSL certificates. So again, SSL certificates are great, being that Google in 2018 made a really important announcement about having them, especially if you're going to be selling products on your website. So if you're going to be selling products on your website, think about that. I recommend going with like the business plan itself. Yes, you can get SSL certificates with a single plan, but you do have to pay for them. So if you want them for free, just go with the business plan. I highly recommend it, guys. You'll thank yourselves later for doing that. And again, I'll have a link right below for you. That way you can get started with Hostinger if you so desire. They do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, just as well as Bluehost's platform itself. So if you guys feel that Hostinger is not for you, you can get your money back 100%. Another web hosting alternative to Bluehost that I wanted to mention is SiteGround. As you guys saw on the WordPress.org's website, SiteGround is listed there too for high performance. One of the things that I wanted to mention about SiteGround that's really different from Bluehost is that with SiteGround, the page loads are way faster with them. The customer service is way faster. And another thing that I wanted to mention is that across the board, you have better performance and also better security. So those are some really good perks and benefits that you get with SiteGround that kind of, beat, Bluehost. Yes, Bluehost is still a good provider for beginners, but if you're looking for like higher performance, faster page loads, faster customer support, SiteGround is the way to go. Something that I wanted to mention about SiteGround that is different, although it is faster, it is more expensive. On the promo side of things, you notice that when you get started with a web hosting provider, such as for example with Bluehost, you notice, guys, that they have promos for $3.95, $5.95, $6.95, $13.95. Those are promos that are offered today when you guys get started. But, after a year, 2 years, 3 years that you guys have purchased your web hosting up front, it's going to revert back to the $7.99, $10.99, $14.99, and the $23.99, just depending on what web hosting package you selected. In the case of SiteGround, you notice that with their web hosting itself, they have shared, there's dedicated, as well as cloud, hosting itself. On the front end of things, the startup plan starts off at $3.95 per month. You notice that the Grow Big is $5.95, very similar to Bluehost. And the Go Geek, which is the third tier up, is $11.95. So you'll see across the board that on the low end, in comparison to Bluehost, the top tier itself Pro is $13.95, but with SiteGround is $11.95. And I mentioned that what you are paying for here with SiteGround, being that it's more expensive, you're paying for top performance, it's quality. So you notice that obviously when your web hosting renews, the startup is going to jump to $11.95, to Grow Big to $19.95, and to Go Geek $34.95 per month. It's expensive. So what I recommend, guys, if you go with SiteGround, is to purchase more web hosting up front, say 2-3 years up front. That way you save a lot of money, both on the front end, because if you only purchase 1 year of hosting, 12 months forward, it's just going to revert back to these regular rates that you're seeing right there. SiteGround is really great. I actually have currently with them the Grow Big plan with them. I really like this one, again, because it allows me to host unlimited web hosting. It allows me to host unlimited websites, online itself. They do have restrictions across the board, and when it comes to like how much web traffic that you can have. You notice how you do get free SSL certificates across the board, daily backups, you get free email. A lot of web hosting providers don't give you free email. Sometimes you have to outsource it from another company. But with SiteGround, you get it for free. So I highly recommend SiteGround. They're super, super reliable and fast performing. web hosting provider. And again, I'll leave a link right below for you guys. That way you can get started with them today. A2 Hosting is another great, awesome alternative to Bluehost if you don't get started with Bluehost. They've been around for a very long time, since 2001. They also have shared web hosting. It's WordPress, VPS, reseller, and dedicated individuals, again, that have high volumes of traffic and you need, more resources. Again, the shared web hosting itself, I think, is best for beginners online. What I love about them is that they have some really cheap web hosting, in comparison to Bluehost. The Bluehost's first tier was $395, the promo, but you'll notice that with the startup for A2 hosting is only $299. So you are saving, roughly $1, on the front end for the promo itself. And if you guys use the link below, you'll get 66% off of your web hosting today. Right now with A2 hosting, I've been testing out their Drive plan itself. I really like it, again, because it allows me to create unlimited websites. So I think if you are an affiliate marketer, somebody who needs to create unlimited websites online, go with the Drive, the Turbo Boost, or the Turbo Max. These 3 tiers right here. If you get started with a startup, you can always upgrade when you want with a phone call, or just, shooting like an email by opening like a ticket, with support. Super easy. I started off initially with the first tier, and then I upgraded to the Drive because essentially I wanted to create more websites and do tutorials and things of that nature, like on my channels. And so anyhow, they're really, really great, web hosting provider, and I'll leave some links right below for you guys. That way you can save, with A2 hosting as well. So going back to Bluehost, guys, is Bluehost a good web hosting provider for 2020 going forward? I think they are. They're great if you're a beginner online and you just want to like test the waters, get your website off to a really good start. As your website starts to grow and you gain, more traction online, more web traffic each and every month, you could probably transition over to another web hosting provider. I think that in general, Bluehost has some very cheap web hosting prices that help you to save a lot of money, especially if you guys are on a tight budget. But again, you do have other options such as Hostinger. There's SiteGround, as well as A2 Hosting, all of which I'll leave links for you guys below. All right. So I hope that this Bluehost review was helpful for you guys. Again, when it comes to creating a website online, you need to get started with a web hosting provider that's super reliable and one that will have, great security, great customer support in the event you guys have questions. And speaking about questions, do you have any questions about this brief Bluehost review for 2020? If you do, drop them right below. I'd love to hear your comments and your feedback. If you use or have used Bluehost in the past, let me know also below what you think personally about their web hosting services. I hope that you guys have much success in your endeavors of creating your website online today. I'll catch you guys in the next video. And if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button. Take care.